He's a guy that nobody really talks about. And he's a guy that can go a lot of innings, but when he's bad and he's not getting the ball down, he's just awful. So if he's right on his game, he's a guy that can hit and throw a no-hitter, and he did it for the second time in 2 years. So congratulations to Mark Buehrle for no-hitting the Tampa Bay Rays on Thursday. Right now, the White Sox are trying to get Tigers. They had 2 games on Friday. They did. Tigers and the White Sox. Tigers have taken the first 3, so the White Sox are trying to salvage a game here, and they lead 5-1 end of the 5th inning here in Detroit. So we're going to take a quick break. The phone lines are open if you guys want to call in. Numbers 856-227-1360, 856-227-1360. I'm Christina Maxwell. This is Sports Sunday. We'll be right back. NJC 1360 AM, Washington Township, New Jersey. This is an extended edition of Sports Sunday. I'm Christina Maxwell. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. 9:37 here at WNJC. Some other news and notes in sports. Alberto Contador won his second Tour de France. So Lance Armstrong lost. My mom loves the Tour de France, so I should always give a Tour de France update or any other sports that I really don't watch that she watches. I would have to give her a little plug there. So yeah, Alberto Contador wins the second Tour de France. Lance Armstrong ended up in 3rd place here. He'll be back next year. He has like this new team, a Radio Shack, is going to be sponsoring it. So he's going to leave his I forget the name of it. She needs to be in here and give me all these information of Tour de France, because I'm just like, I have no idea. I'm trying to read this. His team, Aston, they were the team that he was with, right? Aston is the team he's on now. And he's leaving to go to Radio Shack. Well, he's going to go to Radio Shack. Yeah, and there's going to be a couple people that will join him as well. It's like this huge article, and you just kind of want like a little blurb of, what happened. And ESPN gives you this whole article about it. So I should print it out and give it to you. So, yes. So the Tour de France is over, right? That's it. There's no more. I'll be back next year, but okay. So, I know I could say Alberto Contador, which is nice. And you're... What's that?
It's like 90. It's in it.
Yeah, it's like 90th year of it. 97 years? Oh, boy. See, I don't know. Thank you for the Tour de France update. All right, so some other new sports that I do know about. How about Sixers, NBA? Why not? The 76ers have to replace Andre Miller because he is gone. The Sixers withdrew their beautiful, generous, great offer to Miller. 1-year offer. Thanks so much. They didn't believe Miller wanted the 1-year deal. No, really. So his tenure with Philadelphia is coming to an end. Andre Miller is in the process of finalizing a deal. Will send him to the Portland Trail Blazers. A 3-year, $21 million deal, 14 of it guaranteed. The Blazers have been looking for this veteran point guard that they need for this young team that they have. They have a great talent on there. They're looking for guys like Jason Kidd, Kurt Heinrich. They get their guy in Andre Miller. He's a guy that can bring this leadership to this young roster. It's improving and it's getting younger. And even the general manager, Kevin Pritchard, even said that he was so impressed that Miller knew all about the Blazers offense. He's played 530 straight games. He came to the Sixers in December of 2006 from the Denver Nuggets and the Allen Iverson trade. He's never missed a game. He averaged 16 points and 6 dimes a night in his just 2.5 years in Philadelphia. His departure means that the Sixers will likely turn to the 4th-year point guard Lou Williams to run the offense. They also have UCLA's Jrue Holiday, was their first-round pick. They hope that he can develop into something special, into a point guard of the future. Shooting guard Willie Green is the only other true guard on the roster, but he's, like I said, he's a shooting guard. So this kind of leaves them very thin in the backcourt. There's a couple guys that won't cost the Sixers very much money because they still have 2 big contracts. Again, they didn't want to get involved into another 4 to 5 year commitment. So that's really why they were hesitant about Andre Miller. But again, the Trailblazers got him at a good price. 3 years, $21 million. How could the Sixers not match that? They just didn't. There's 2 guys the Sixers, who have been looking at. Jamal Tinsley from the Indiana Pacers was waived this week. He averaged about 12 points a game and 8 assists. Also, C.J. Watson, who's a restricted free agent from the Golden State Warrior. Stefanski was in Vegas watching Iguodala and Young in those U.S. national team mini camps, and he wouldn't comment on anything, but there's some interesting things about Jamal Tinsley. He brings a lot of character issues, even though he's a good player. Pacers didn't allow him to play after December 2007 when when shots were fired into his car, injuring the Pacers' equipment manager, Watson's agent. The Sixers, much earlier in the process, presented Watson with a one-year offer for $2.3 million deal and were turned down. And also, so we'll see what happens with the 76ers and if they'll acquire another guard or if they'll just go with the guys that they have. Other NBA free agent news include the Los Angeles Times say Lamar Odom and the Lakers resumed contract negotiations. He had an offer by the Miami Heat. The original offer was 3 years guaranteed. That is gone. So they're talking, but they're not negotiating, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. Drew Gooden also signed a deal with the Dallas Mavericks. He was with San Antonio last year. He only played about 30 games this year. Only averaged about 7 points a game and only playoff series for against the Mavericks. So, not a lot of news and notes from the NBA this week. However, the Eagles, really quick here, the Eagles training camp starts next week. Eagles drafted Jeremy Maclin at the first round draft pick. Gives them a lot of wide receiving depth. It really does, because the guy has got like Kevin Curtis, you got Chris Jackson, Hank Baskett, Jason Avant. Eagles have a lot to look forward to this year. Ellis Hobbs, a guy that they picked up in a trade with New England. He gives them a lot of depth at cornerback, but Sheldon Brown may not be with the team to start the year. He's not very happy with his position, so it's going to be a factor to see who starts opposite Sante Samuel. Will it be Obbs or will it be Brown? LaShawn McCoy is a guy that they drafted in the second round. Brian Westbrook is expected to miss camp. He probably won't be ready for the year, so McCoy is pretty important to their success. He will get more practice and work in the preseason. He's pretty good at minicamps, like Westbrook, with the ability to run the routes. Other important news out of the Eagles' nest this week is that Sean McDermott is now the new Eagles defensive coordinator. He was named the interim defensive coordinator in May when Jim Johnson resumed his cancer treatments, but he's officially the coordinator there. He's 35 years old. He was a secondary coach and linebackers coach. He's very successful and popular as defense of the Eagles that was headed by Johnson for so many years. So I think a lot of questions for me as how will this year play, and will we see a difference now that Johnson's gone? It's the same exact schemes and things that he used, but this is a guy that is not Jim Johnson. He's been under his wings for years. The players do know him, but how will this translate that he's no longer there? And definitely good wishes and get well soon to Jim Johnson, who is resuming cancer treatments, and I don't think he's doing very well. Also, Joe Banner, a team president for the Eagles, has come out on record and said that I feel that we have the best roster in the league, assuming everyone's healthy. You can make that statement on the first day of training camp. So apparently the Eagles have the best roster in the league. If you guys want to talk about it, the phone lines are open, 856-227-1360, 856-227-1360. I'm going to sign off for the night here. Hopefully we got another